So, what I'd like to personally reflect on is April Fool's Day, or more specifically, this past April Fool's Day, a holiday that I'm not very fond of, but funny enough, this year was actually my favorite April Fool's Day of all time. And I'll just cut to the chase right now. The reason why is because I got hit by a car. And so, how this all started was my friend and I were at the BYU Frisbee game at Park City, and we were, talking, and I asked him, so what do you want to do after the game's over? And he said, well, why don't we hang out at your apartment? And I asked him, well, how are we going to get there? And he said, well, we'll just walk. And I was a little scared because my apartment was very far away from the Provo City field, and my friend had just fractured his back. And so when I told him that, he said, no, it'll be okay, I'll suck it up. Plus, what's the worst that can happen? Well, one thing led to another, and well... Okay, that isn't really what happened. What really transpired was we were waiting at an intersection to, go on the crosswalk. So once the light flashed, this car, it had come down on the furthest right lane, and it tried to merge onto the next lane and neglected to look straight ahead to see if any pedestrians were crossing the street. So next thing my friend and I know, bam, we get hit, only a few feet back. We didn't get hurt, but we kind of collected ourselves and looked at the guy like, hey. And he signaled us, he was like, oh, my bad, and then just drove off. So anyway, the reason why this was my favorite April Fool's Day ever was because, one, if I told you that on April Fool's Day, you probably wouldn't believe me. And two, how often does someone get to go through something that, exhilarating on April Fool's Day? Pretty awesome, no?